What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Thursday, everybody. Hopefully you all are having a fan-freaking-tastic day. Guys, what another awesome day to talk about women's basketball. We're going to talk about some college basketball. We're going to talk about some WNBA. And yeah, lots of stuff is going on. A ton of stuff is going on in the world. We're going to get into it. Quita in the Morning starts now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
Y'all, it is nothing like the theme music that gets me hyped for a stream. Guys, let's get into it with the first story. We got a couple stories I want to get into, and I want to get to them as quickly as possible. So let's get into it. The first story is about the NCAA. Starting November the 1st, college athletes will officially be allowed to bet on sports. Yeah, you heard that right. The NCAA actually changed its rules to let players and athletic department staff gamble on professional leagues like the NFL, the NBA, WNBA, MLB, NHL, goes down and down and down and down the list. Now, I've told you all my feelings about gambling before. If you don't know, let me tell you. I got some mixed feelings about this in general. I think gambling is at its core a bad bet. The house always wins. It's literally set up for that to happen. It messes with your relationship with the game. It messes up your finances. It screws up your emotions. And just all in all, you're likely pretty much always going to lose. And it's just a waste of money. So personally, I think it's silly. And I think it could spiral into serious stress or a serious addiction. But at the same time, we are talking about college athletes. College athletes are adults. They're college students. And yes, they're spectacular athletes, but they're regular people nonetheless. And if everybody else on campus can place a legal bet on a Lakers game or the Super Bowl or something like that, why shouldn't college athletes? So while I don't like it, college athletes should be able to place bets if they want to on professional sports. And now the NCAA is saying, yes, we agree with that and we are making a change. All right. Uh-oh. Darn it. No. Okay, so let's talk about what is allowed. What's changing with the rules? So the NCAA's new rule, which has been approved by Divisions 1, Division 2, and Division 3. So that's all of college basketball. Well, besides NAIA, but you get the picture. It's basically all of college athletes are now able to do this. Lets student athletes and school staff bet on professional sports. Now, they still can't bet on college sports of any kind. That means no March Madness bracket money for college athletes. No wagers on your school's football team. No friendly bets on a rival's game. So you can't do that. And it's not just about betting. You also still cannot share insider information about college competitions. Which makes sense because the NCAA does not want athletes feeding tips to bettors or fixing outcomes. Oh, and also, they're not turning into a sports book commercial, the NCAA, at least not yet. Eventually, it'll get to that point where the money will be too good for them and they will end up having sponsorships of NCAA events from the likes of FanDuel and DraftKings and whatnot. But right now, you will not see a FanDuel or DraftKings banner around March Madness. They still are unable to sponsor NCAA events, meaning betting companies are not able to. Eventually, that'll change, guarantee you. But right now, that is the rule. Okay, so you may be wondering, okay, a change has been made. But why? Actually, this is a slide that kind of talks about what you're still unable to do. But why? Why did this change happen? Well, basically, the NCAA is trying to catch up with reality. Sports betting and gambling is everywhere now, right? It's legal in a whole bunch of states. It's normalized on TV with basically a situation where when you're watching a sporting event on TV, every other commercial is a sports book app that's getting promoted or something like that, right? It's gotten to a point where it's part of how some fans engage with sports through betting. NCAA officials say that this update is, quote, this change recognizes the realities of sports today, of today's sports environment without compromising our commitment to protecting the integrity of college competition or the well-being of student athletes. Translation, or the Quita translation of this, they are saying basically, we know people are going to gamble anyway. We know our college athletes want to gamble. Let's restrict it only to where they can legally gamble on pro sports. We might as well stop pretending that they won't gamble, because they will gamble. And let's not police pro gambling for college players. Of course, we're still upholding the rules against gambling on college sporting events, but pro gambling, sure. And also a thing to remember, guys, is this is subject to the state's laws. Not every single state has legalized gambling. I think it's available in like 30 plus states. Definitely not all 50 states have legalized gambling. And so while the NCAA is now saying, yes, you can do it without getting kicked out of school, right? Or getting kicked off of your team, right? You can gamble now when it comes to pro sports. You still have to honor whatever the state says. So if the state has an age restriction, you still got to follow the age restriction, right? If the state does not allow it, period, well, you can't gamble. And so basically college athletes had to, of course, follow the law of the land when it comes to the states that they're in. So if the state didn't allow it, then they just couldn't do it at all. But if the state allowed it, and if they were of a legal age to gamble, right now, college athletes still cannot gamble on pro sports. But going forward on November the 1st, they can, as long as, it's legal where they live. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Now, you all may be wondering what Charlie, let's actually continue to talk about this real quick. NCAA President Charlie Baker says that the NCAA runs the largest integrity program in the world when it comes to tracking betting violations. And there have been some big violations when it has come to betting scandals. This rule change allowing college athletes to bet on pro sports comes after a spike in NCAA betting violations. Now, you all may remember the fact that there was some players on Fresno State and San Jose State that were caught betting on college games, and they have since been issued a permanent ban from men's basketball. So they can't play anymore. They're done, right? They were literally betting on their own games. So yeah, not a good look. Not a good look. So and this is something that still will be enforced by the NCAA. If you're betting on your own games or any other college games, you're going to get kicked out. You're not going to be able to play NCAA sports anymore if you violate the rules. But pro-wise, you can do it. So even though the NCAA is loosening up, the NCAA still warns athletes to be smart. They want to be very, very clear with everybody that the NCAA is not endorsing betting. They just want to reduce the restrictions and have colleges educate athletes about the risk of betting. They're pushing schools to use harm reduction programs and resources to basically be like, hey, if you're going to bet, at least know what you're getting into and be smart about it. So, yeah. That's what the NCAA is doing starting November the 1st. This is a major issue, major thing. And we'll see kind of how this affects things. Of course, for the most part, it's not going to affect all college athletes because, again, you have to live in a state that allows gambling, and 2, you have to be of age. So this is primarily like of juniors and seniors or grad students type of thing. But still, I still think it's important, and I still want to talk about it, okay? All right, Sai is asking, what about refs? Are they allowed to bet? I don't know, actually. I mean, of course, not on college games, but I don't know about the rules on college refs. Because a lot of college refs, specifically on the basketball front, they also do ref some pro games. And so I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Tulip, I will get to that in just a moment. Yes, I will get to that. All right. So, yeah. My take, I said it before, say it again. Gambling might be legal in your state, but it doesn't mean it's actually wise. The new rules make sense on paper. College athletes should have the same rights as everybody else. But I worry that this opens up another door of pressure, temptation, distraction. Because let's be real, guys, college sports already has enough chaos. NIL money, transfer portal drama, endless social media noise, and the negative effects of sports gambling and how it has led to a lot of fans verbally attacking players for not allowing them to hit their parlays, right? We've already seen not so great stuff happen. And so college athletes getting into serious gambling debt, betting on pro sports, and then having to possibly do something under the table to allow that to get that debt to get removed. Maybe that ends up affecting college sports, even if the bet isn't on a college sport. Lots of possibilities of how this could go wrong, but at the end of the day, they should be allowed to do it because they just should be, in my opinion. And we'll see what happens. But I won't be surprised if it gets a little bit messy. I will not be surprised at all. All right, next story I wanted to move to. This is a story that I actually thought was pretty fun. And so I was like, you know what? Let's talk about this. Because my question to you all is, are college athletes, or specifically women's basketball players, avoiding the WNBA because of the CBA and negotiations? So Olivia Miles, one of the best guards in college basketball, just admitted something that flagged something for me, something I thought was true and something that she proved was true by her statement, and something that I think is a bigger deal for current women's basketball players. And that's around the CBA, right? She was asked about her decision to return to college for another year and not go to the WNBA. And she said, quote, "The WNBA is figuring out their own stuff with the CBA as we're watching. So let them figure it out. And for one more year, I'll enjoy college." Now, makes a lot of sense to me. And I think it might also just explain why a lot of top players who were eligible did not enter the WNBA draft for 2025. Let's break it down. The WNBA's collective bargaining agreement, that's the deal between the players and league. It expires soon. Actually, expires in less than a week at the end of the month on October the 31st. And until it's settled, everything is kind of up in the air. Player rosters, roster sizes, travel standards, how expansions might work in the future. Like, it's a lot of stuff that the CBA covers. It covers everything. It's literally a bunch of papers, a huge stack of papers to read through. So it affects a lot of stuff. And if you are a senior or a draft eligible women's college basketball player, that's a situation that makes you think, maybe I should just stay in college a little bit more. Maybe. Because maybe the new pay structure or team rules, maybe they will heavily benefit you if you wait. Or maybe they won't. Either way, Olivia Miles is basically saying, you know what? I'm going to sit tight. I'm going to develop even more, and I'm going to wait till the dust settles because I don't know what's going to be coming down the pike. It could be that they move up the rookie salary to $150,000, right? If that's the case, sure, they'll bump up the rookie scale of everybody who's currently on a rookie scale deal, but those people missed out on, X amount of money. And so now making the decision to wait another year, now you don't have to worry about possibly only making, $76,000 for your first year. Now your first year is higher than that because the new CBA. And so it makes sense that they're like, actually, nah. Why? I could develop a little bit more, and I could have fun and just watch what the WNBA does. Honestly, guys, that is a smart move. It's a business savvy move. And yeah, I am in complete agreement with Olivia Miles and her decision to do that because, one thing's for sure, Olivia Miles is not the only one who thought like this. In fact, if you look around college hoops, there were a couple of players who could have declared into the 2025 WNBA draft should they wanted to, right? Lauren Betts could have been in the draft, right? Lauren Betts, AZ Foot, Flaugy Johnson, Tanaya Latson, Olivia Miles. Like, these are players who could have actually entered into the draft if they wanted to. Right? Oh, wait, actually, no, I'm sorry. Tanaya Latson shouldn't be on there. The other players should be on there. Lauren Betts, AZ Foot, Flaugy Johnson, and Olivia Miles. Because I thought Tanaya Latson was turning 25 or 22 this year. She actually just turned 21, so she shouldn't be on the list. But if you're going to be 22 during the year of your draft, you can declare for the WNBA draft, which is why technically Flaugy Johnson is not 20. Flaugy Johnson is not 22 yet. She's 21, but her birthday is next month, and so she would be 22 in the year of 2025, and so therefore she could have declared if she wanted to. Right? You get the point. Yeah, you get the point. And so anyway, let's continue. Let's continue on. All right. So yeah, they could have left. They could have went to test the waters, but they decided not to. And now I'm wondering if the uncertainty around the WNBA's new CBA and how it could completely reshape rookie contracts, bonuses, team situations, I wonder if that played a bigger role than what other people might be saying publicly. Because if you think about it, the 2026 class is going to be stacked with a whole bunch of players, right? And they're going to be the first generation to enter under a brand new CBA. This is absolutely huge because this means new financial terms, possibly better marketing rights and deals, maybe even expanded rosters, which could be critical for job security for rookies. Because a lot of rookies get cut before the season even starts. If you decide to wait and enter in when there's possibly 14, 15 players on a roster, now you went from being a borderline 12th roster spot, and you might get cut, to having a semi-guaranteed spot on a team. Makes sense to actually wait another year. And if you're an elite college player, well, you have an opportunity to make even more money in college. Because if you're an elite player, you're getting a lot of NIL deals, and that's a lot of money that you have, that you be making in college, right? And so, for a lot of reasons, it makes sense that players would make the decision to actually stay in college, if you could. Why not? Olivia Miles also talked about after her injury, she wasn't mentally or physically ready for the WNBA grind. Beyond that, she talking about, hey, the league is figuring itself out, and it makes sense that she's looking at the bigger picture of like what is happening. She's also betting on herself that she will be better coming in 2026 for the WNBA. She'll be in a better place by the time she joins, and can be even more effective on the court with her eventual WNBA team. And if you've been paying attention, like, that's not a bad bet at all. Not a bad bet. Now, not only did Olivia Miles make the decision to stay in college, she also made the decision to leave Notre Dame and transfer to TCU, where she's going to have complete control over the offense, right? Her coach is literally saying, hey, all our actions, they're running through Olivia Miles. Like, she is the core player for us, right? She is getting a year to continue to grow, to lead a team, to be the face of a program, and to really fine-tune her body before she touches a WNBA court. Smart motto. Like, it makes a lot of sense to me, right? Using college as sort of like a pro incubator. You're getting the NIL money. You are able to move on to a different school that will completely cater to you and what you do best. So you can basically have the greatest resume to shore WNBA team. Like, this is, in a lot of ways, is very, very smart. And a lot of people are also probably doing this. So when people ask, why isn't the top players flocking to the WNBA? It might not be fear. It might not be injury or indecision. It might just be strategy. Some of these players might have just been watching what's been happening with the CBA, and they want to maximize their money-making potential. Because once the new CBA is signed, that can reshape everything: salaries, opportunities, endorsements, player power, all that good stuff. Because Olivia Miles, in a lot of ways, she did kind of say the quiet part out loud. She said what we all kind of knew. And that's the fact that for college sports, it is all about figuring out what your next step is. For a lot of these players, they know what their next step is. Their next step is the WNBA. And so why not maximize your college opportunities and wait till you can maximize your WNBA salary and opportunities as well. Right? I think it makes a lot of sense to me. I think it makes a whole lot of sense. Tisha says, I think it's great to wait out the CBA and allow their debut to be all about them, not all the crazy CBA news. Yeah. Olivia says approximately 8 days until the CBA deadline. It'll be extended, no doubt, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're totally right on that. There's going to be an extension. It's not gonna. They're nowhere near done, and we'll talk about that in just a sec. It's kind of crazy what's happening right now. All right, let's move on to the next topic. That's hilarious. WBZO says, Ken, are you saying it's a gamble? We've come full circle. That's hilarious. That is funny. That is funny. Hey, that would have been a game that I would have loved to see, Tulip. I would have loved to see that game. That's for sure. All right. And now that we're speaking of the CBA, we got to talk about this because there's been some major news on the CBA front. And this involves continued fallout from Adam Silver's comments. So you all remember yesterday I spent quite a bit of time during the stream talking about Adam Silver and the comments that he recently made about the WNBA CBA, and basically saying that, hey, here's the thing. Oh wow, y'all. Random thing to note. Pablo Torre. That is goals for me. Like I just went on X to find the stuff I want to talk about right now. And the first thing I see is Pablo Torre breaking news that Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested by the FBI this morning, like for sports betting. See, full circle. Sports betting comes around full circle. Anyway, one day I would love to be an investigative reporter like Pablo Torre. Like, this guy is crazy. Like, he gets all the scoops. All the scoops. It's kind of wild. Anyway, let's actually get to what I want to talk about, and it involves sort of next steps for the CBA. So after Adam Silver basically said that, revenue sharing is not happening for the CBA. The WNBA, which is the Players Association, Executive Director Terry Carmichael Jackson released a statement saying, quote, when the players opted out a year ago, they made it clear they wanted a salary system that values their labor and allows them to grow with the business they are clearly driving. The league's response has been to run out the clock, put lipstick on a pig, and retread a system that isn't tied to any parts of the business and intentionally undervalues the players. The fact that the league now wants to call any part of its proposal uncapped is precisely why its leadership, transparency, and accountability are being challenged right now. What the league and teams are trying to do is not only limit the cost of labor, but also contain it through an artificial system that isn't tied to the business the players are building in any real or meaningful way. She continues on and says, it's bad when the best they say they can do is more of the same. A fixed salary system and a separate revenue sharing plan that only includes a piece of the pie and pays themselves, the league, back first. We've come to the table prepared to do business. They've responded with bad math and are hoping everyone doesn't understand what uncapped actually means. Adam Silver said it himself on behalf of the WNBA. Share isn't the word. It's not in their vocabulary. Now, I gotta say, that was the full quote, paragraphs and all, from Terry Carmichael Jackson, the executive director of the WNBPA. Guys, when I saw that come through yesterday, I was like, man, that lady knows she has a way with words. She literally said, share is not in their vocabulary. I gotta tell you, I thought that this piece of writing was spectacular. 10 out of 10 would recommend, right? Like she went in on the WNBA. And here's the thing, like, this is why you hire an executive director to, hey, use her words in a very effective way. Because in a lot of ways, yes, this is what the players have also been saying this whole time, but the way she kind of succinctly just put all that stuff in just a couple paragraphs, I thought it was genius. Now, this response from Terry Carmichael Jackson, it just shows the giant gulf between the players and the league. Like, we are nowhere near close to having a CBA. Like, I just think it's wild that supposedly, according to the WNBPA, they've been coming to this thing with good faith, but the WNBA is giving them more of the same. Quote, a fixed salary system and a separate revenue sharing plan that only includes a piece of a piece and pays themselves the league back first. We've come to the table prepared to do business. They've responded with bad math and are hoping everyone doesn't understand what uncapped actually means. Dog. Not even a piece. She's saying a piece of a piece. Dog. That's what Terry Carmichael Jackson said. And of course, the WNBA had to respond to that. And so here is the WNBA's response. Okay, so WNBA ended up responding, and shout out to Kareem Copeland of the Washington Post for he got the WNBA's response. And here is what the WNBA said in response to Terry Carmichael Jackson, her statement. So the league, a league representative says, quote, it is incorrect and surprising that the Players Association is claiming that the WNBA has not offered an uncapped revenue sharing model that is directly tied to the league's performance. The comprehensive proposals we have made to the players include a revenue sharing component that would result in players' compensation increasing as league revenue increases without any cap on the upside. It is frustrating and counterproductive for the union to be making misrepresentations about our proposals while also accusing the league of engaging in delay. That is simply not true. While we have delivered comprehensive proposals that seek an agreement that will benefit all, the Players Association has yet to offer a valid economic proposal and has repeatedly refused to engage in any meaningful way on many of our proposal terms. We stand ready and continue negotiating in good faith and hope they will do the same so that we can finally finalize a mutually beneficial new CBA as quickly as possible. So basically, the WNBA is saying, y'all lying. That's basically what they saying to Terry Carmichael Jackson. They saying, hey, you are lying. We have come to this thing with good faith. We have given y'all comprehensive proposals that have made that we have made to the players include a revenue sharing component that would result in the players' compensation increasing as league revenue increases without any cap on the upside. Now, the leagues are saying they're frustrated about this whole situation. Here's the thing. We don't know. I cannot see the documents. You cannot see the documents. I have no idea who is truly telling the truth. Now, everybody, when they say stuff, and not everybody, but like when you're doing a public campaign of opinions, like that's really what this is. The WNBPA knows that the people are on their side, and they're trying to just throw it all out there, you know. And the WNBA is trying to fight back and be like, oh no, don't believe them, don't believe them. Here's the thing, I don't know what to believe. I have no idea if the WNBPA is telling the truth. I don't know if the WNBA is telling the truth. Maybe both of them have like certain things that they're correct in and they're lying about certain things. I don't know. All I know is this is an absolute mess. This is ridiculous. And this whole sort of campaign of public opinion stuff, eventually it has to stop. Eventually. On all sides, because y'all need to just get in the room and hash this whole thing out. And yes, they've had lots of meetings, both in person and virtual. Still, stuff has not been fully resolved. It seems with the messages that went through yesterday, we're nowhere near close. We're nowhere near close at all. Right? But, yeah. Shamika says, I'm sure whatever sharing model the W proposed was trash. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. Ghost says, funny how good faith requires books to be closed. That one. That part, Ghost. That part, Ghost. That part. Right? I'm just saying. Yeah. Interesting times. Interesting times for the WNBA. Very, very, very interesting. Okay? Oh, darn. I'm basically out of time already. Okay, quickly, let's move on to I got to skip over a topic that I was going to talk about. But let's move on. Let's move on to, I'm going to talk about Forbes tomorrow. I was going to talk about them today, but I am out of time. All right. Moving on to the final topic of today, and that includes the fact that Sandy Brondello is back like she never left. She's back in the WNBA, and she's about to make some history north of the border. According to multiple reports, first reported by the Next Hoops, or the 9 Hoops, Howard Megdal and Jackie Powell. They were the first ones who I saw report on this. And it's news that Sandy Brondello is going to be the first head coach of the Toronto Tempo, right? Toronto is Canada's first ever WNBA team, and they officially have their head coach. The deal is not fully done yet, but it's happening. You can expect the announcement to happen any day now. And so, yeah, this is a big deal for both Sandy, for Canada, and both for just the WNBA as a whole, right? If you follow the WNBA for any length of time, you know who Sandy Brondello is. She's a former WNBA All-Star. Remember, she used to play in the WNBA. She played for, I believe she played for the Miami Soul, I want to say. Sandy Brondello is one of the most successful coaches in WNBA history. She's the only woman to win WNBA championships with 2 franchises, both for the Phoenix Mercury in 2014 and the New York Liberty in 2024. She's also the winningest coach for both teams, with a record of 271 wins, 181 losses, and 40 playoff wins. Oh, and by the way, do you all remember the fact that she is the long-standing head coach for the Australian national team, leading the Opals to win a bronze medal in the 2024 Paris Olympics? Her resume really does speak for itself. Like, it makes sense as to why Sandy Brondello was hired by Toronto, right? Now, this comes after the Liberty split from Sandy Brondello. Sandy spent the last 4 years in New York, leading the Liberty to back-to-back finals appearances in 2023 and 2024, wins the WNBA championship in 2024, but after a surprise first-round playoff exit this past year, the team decided not to renew her contract, and she was sent packing. I'm sure she was shocked, but with so many coaches needed in the WNBA, I think she knew her next opportunity was right around the corner, and now she is getting her next shots, this time with a blank slate to work with. Now let's talk about the Toronto Tempo, because this is a team that, again, is brand spanking new, guys. Because the Canadian era of the WNBA has officially begun. The Toronto Tempo is the WNBA's newest expansion team, joining the league in 2026. They will play home games at the Coca-Cola Coliseum, but they will have games in Montreal and Vancouver as well. So this is really going to be Canada's team. Even though the team is based in Toronto, this is a team for all of Canada, which is, again, kind of cool. Sandy Brondello will be working alongside general manager Monica Wright-Rogers, another former WNBA player herself. This makes this duo, this tandem, the league's only coach and GM duo who both played in the WNBA. Talk about full circle moments, right? The people who helped build the game are now the ones running it. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Now, as for the roster, the Tempo can't start signing any players yet. The WNBA has to have a collective bargaining agreement agreed upon, or have to have some sort of extension to the current agreement in order for them to have their expansion draft for both Portland and Toronto. Now, once that happens, Sandy Brondello, Monica Wright-Rogers, and staff will have a chance to shape this team from the ground up, which in a lot of ways is a rare opportunity to kind of build legacy from day one. Remember, look at what Golden State just did with the Valkyries. Who knows what's possible with Toronto and how they can find success from day one. The Tempo's hire is more than just filling a vacancy. It's a sign of what's coming. The WNBA is growing faster than ever. And hey, Toronto and Portland are coming next year. Then we got Cleveland, Detroit, Philadelphia. And putting someone like a Sandy Brondello at the helm shows that you are serious about building a winning culture basically from day one. She did it twice before. And if anyone can make Canadian basketball history, I think it'll be her. It's kind of fun to imagine that, she's going to be leading the only WNBA team in Canada and then also coaching Team Australia. I don't know. I think that's kind of funny. Anyway, Sandy Brondello is not just coming back to the WNBA. She is helping to build the future of the league through its newest team. Toronto has its leader. Now we'll kind of wait to see what her and Monica does. Who do they build this team around? What players go to Toronto? Lots of questions. And I can't wait to get some answers come, hopefully, December, when the expansion draft actually happens. Will it happen on time? We don't know, because the CBA is just kind of throwing a wrench into everything. Maybe this is a wait and see type of thing, but I'm excited about it. Hopefully you all are excited about it as well. And congratulations to Sandy Brondello for getting the job. Okay. All right. Yes, I'm very much curious to see who will go to the Liberty, to Seattle, and to Dallas. Very curious to see what team, who these teams hire as their new head coach. Because I thought that Sandy was going to Dallas. Not the case. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, that is the stream for today. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you like learning about what's happening in women's basketball. I've tried my best to be as quick as possible with these various segments. Try not to be as long-winded, because y'all be y'all be getting me on that stuff, okay? Anyway, y'all have a good one. And I will see y'all in the next one. Where's my outro? All right, here we go. It is a so long, farewell to you, my friends, goodbye for now until we meet again. See you tomorrow.
Are you ready?
Ready, set, go.